so they can get around and see what they're doing. And we got the see what we got here with these other NABA titles. I know that the one Alonzo Butler pulled out, and we put up a guy that the WBA wouldn't approve, and so we let that slide. So we got somebody else at right there. But what? Pardon? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's. It's been a long trip. But I'm just glad to be here. And we're going to have a sensational evening of boxing. And that's what really counts, giving the people what they want. So I am very pleased to be home again. And I'm delighted to bring home 6 title fights. I mean, and to give people a chance to have some fun again. A moment of respite from that COVID-19 pandemic. No one should take it lightly. It should be much better if you take the vaccination and the shot, wear your mask and social distance, and not need it, than to need it and not have it. So, you know, all the argument and all the politicizing of the pandemic got us all confused. We're all fighting each other, confused with the mandates from leadership and weak leadership. And it's very, very difficult around the world that we, left Afghanistan like we did. Our credibility has been hurt all the way around the world.
That's a card I'm going to be covering in a couple of hours. Let me pull that up real quick. Don King has a card tonight in Ohio. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on in the video. Down below in the description box is the show notes. So people have been telling me for years, like, T Street, can you please put the topics of what you're talking about in these streams down below in the description box? Well, I have. Everything we're going to talk about in this next 57 minutes or so are down below. So I talked about it before, but I like the format of doing 30-minute or hour-long streams. Anything after that is kind of like, a little bit too much for me. So, and also it keeps me on track to be able to make sure that we go into enough detail and not, you see my show notes, and we're not jumping all over the place. So down below in the description box, you can find this. Also, you can find the links to my social media and my Twitch page for those who are interested in joining T Street in some gaming. I got a bunch of PS5 games here, many of them unopened, that I'm going to be streaming on Twitch sometime in the next few days or so. I've had a lot of things to take care of at the beginning of the year. That's how I'm able to throw so much money away. I mean, invest so much money into covering boxing. T Street does have a personal life. But here are the topics we're going to be covering during the show today for the next 50 minutes or so. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano set for April the 30th in Madison Square Garden on DAZN. The press conference is on Wednesday. Jake Paul is going to attend. It's in New York on Wednesday. Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson to also fight on April the 30th in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on ESPN, 2 competing cards. Breakdown of the 130-pound division, Chris Colbert versus Roger Gutierrez. They had a Zoom call a few days ago. I wasn't able to, been busy. I wasn't able to be on there. That's set for February the 26th on Showtime in the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. Rances Barthelemy is on the card so far. I'll make sure I put that note down there. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios fight week schedule. We're going to go over that next week. It's supposed to be like my season premiere, like where I'm supposed to be back, and I'm going to be like really, covering that card. I'm also going to be streaming during the card. So whatever you guys are doing next weekend, I'm going to be here on Saturday night streaming during Thurman versus Barrios. People have been telling me also another thing for years is that, all right, T Street, it's time to start doing live commentary during fights. And every time I've done live commentary during fights, it's been successful, you know, numbers wise, and I've made money. So it's just that it was difficult to kind of do it with, you know, all my legal stuff going on and, you know, the kids, you know, 3 kids. So it's been, you know, but we're I can do it now. A brief mention of what's going on with George Kambosos versus Devin Haney, the negotiation rumors. I got some content pulled up for that. We're going to wrap up the video with 3 topics. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte, the purse bid won by Frank Warren's Queensbury Promotions to be co-promoted by top-ranked broadcasts on BT Sport box office pay-per-view in the UK and ESPN pay-per-view here in the States. We're going to listen to a little bit of Frank Warren's interview with Dev Haney. I believe he's still the head of Queensbury, Frank Warren, you know, promotional companies, PR. Don King's homecoming card, Iyanga Makabu versus Tabisi Machunu, Trevor Brown versus Jonathan Goudry card, pay-per-view, preview, $49.99. That's tonight, a few hours from now. There's a $49.99 pay-per-view. On Fight.tv. And the winner wants to get Canelo Alvarez of Makabu and Machunu. And then Daniel Dubois is supposed to fight the winner of Trevor Bryan, Jonathan Goudry. And Alexander Usyk versus Anthony Joshua 2 on the way. AJ wanted $20 million to step aside. Refer to ESPN article, heavyweight division breakdown. Boom. There we are. We got a lot to talk about. But how do you guys feel? You know, how you guys been? Regarding boxing, I haven't really been feeling like boxing. January was kind of a throwaway month. You kind of dig me? I thought that, you know, maybe the Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin card. What the hell is that? Some dust. I kind of thought that the Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin card, which I paid for twice, by the way, would have kind of got the blood pumping. I thought that the Joe Smith versus Colin Johnson card, even though Colin Johnson got COVID, late step in, Steve Gifford, I thought that would have got the blood pumping. But I really feel like next week is it. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of hyped for the Don King card tonight. 46-year-old Sergio Martinez got a win over a Macaulay McGowan. I watched that on the Probellum stream on YouTube. That's what's up that they released that to us here in the States. Shout out to Probellum for doing that. Sergio Martinez is currently ranked number 4 by the WBA, creeping up on a title shot against either a Chris Eubank Jr. You know, just talking about it kind of sickens me. But yeah, bro, he need to retire. Now, the good thing is when Sergio Martinez fought, he didn't have his knee braces on. You know, and he did drop dude. See, here's the thing. His movement is just gone. You see what I'm saying? That's pretty much what it is with Sergio Martinez. You want to go watch some clips? I can pull up some clips for y'all if you want, but I don't really think we have time now that I think about it. But he just didn't look good, ladies and gentlemen. He just didn't look good. So let's jump right into things. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Katie Taylor, undisputed at 135 pounds. Surprisingly, I've attended 3 Katie Taylor fights in person. And I've interviewed her like 4 times. Like, y'all know me, I don't do interviews like that. Isn't that crazy? 20-0 with 6 KOs from Ireland. Always sounded like she out of breath. Like, what's up with that? She was like, you know, I just want to thank that. Like, you know? Anyway, that's disrespectful. Let me chill. She's fighting Amanda Serrano for the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO titles in Madison Square Garden on April the 30th. Where's you at, Amanda Serrano? Where's your resume? So far, no undercard has been announced. I'm guessing they may try to get some more women on the card. Maybe a, what's the McGee girl name? The one that beat Shannon Courtenay? Anyway, Amanda Serrano, 42-1-1 with 30 KOs, 33 years old. The Puerto Rican Butte. She beat Miriam Gutierrez so bad, had her looking like Voldemort from fucking Harry Potter. Like, her news got all big. And then pretty much she just been floating around from division to division. But let's cut the shit here, all right? I got Amanda Serrano defeating Katie Taylor. Like, the girl is just too good, bro. You know, don't get me wrong. Katie Taylor, she's got the dog in her. You see what I'm saying? Like, she can fight. You know, but when it comes to a boxer, Amanda Serrano is overall the better boxer, the better fighter. You know, I got her doing some things, some very nasty things to Katie Taylor. Now, I don't think it's going to be easy, but Katie Taylor's going to have to fight the best fight she's ever fought. She's going to have to really she's going to have to be the pressure fighter, power puncher. And she's going to have to hit this motherfucker with some shit to make her think like, yo, I'm saying it ain't sweet. What is she? Is she an 8 or 9 time the 9 division champion? She's an 8 division champion, correct? I mean, just look at her boxing. Look at the weights. You know, just a few years ago, she was all the way down at 115. I covered this fight, by the way, on YouTube. Then went to 125, 130. Like, this is crazy. And now, you know, she wants to be undisputed at 135 pounds. The highest she's been, let's see, I believe it was 147. If I was to say, I would say she's naturally, Amanda Serrano, a 130-pound fighter. I'm trying to look for the highest she's been. Okay, 141 right here. So she's fought as high as 147, meaning welterweight. Talented girl. However, I'm not a fan of her coach, bro. Her trainer be on some bullshit sometimes. You know? Her trainer be on some real bullshit sometimes. Like, he just, you know, he do be a little bit too much. You know, they had the whole little PD scandal all those years back. You know, but hey, it is what it is. By the way, what's going on with the drug testing for this fight? I'm guessing we're going to get some questions about that during the press conference that's going to be this Wednesday in Madison Square. Wait, where's the press conference? I don't even know. I don't even know if I'm supposed to tell you. So on Wednesday, the 3rd, on Wednesday the 2nd, they're having a press conference at 11:30. It starts at 12:30. All right. Well, I don't go to New York no more. You know, I haven't been to New York. It was the last fight I've been to in New York. I don't even remember. I was supposed to be at Shakur Stevenson versus Miguel Mariaga, but that's the fight. That's when COVID shut down the country. And then now they got those mandates and the crime. You know, no thanks. I don't want to get, you know, some bullshit out there and or get shot at or some shit. No, thank you. New York is just, no New York for me. Jake Paul is going to be in attendance at that press conference, by the way. Now, the winner of Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor, I'm guessing that should warrant a fight where it should be like a rematch clause. And, you know, maybe we wouldn't mind seeing it a second time. Because when I really think about it, after Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, who's next? You know, I mean, Jessica McCaskill, even though she can fight at 135, 140, she's champion at 147 pounds. Like, what's the next big women's fight between that 135 and 147 pound division? Refresh my memory, because I can't really think of one right now. Now, you do have the potential of Michaela Mayer moving up to 135, and then with her height, I can expect that she can fight at 140, 147, but she's got her own path that she's trying to do at 130, becoming undisputed, and her and Alicia Baumgartner got to fight before, you know, we even start talking about that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano too. You know, if either or, even though I'm picking Amanda Serrano to win, don't get beat too badly to the point where it's like, all right, what the fuck is the point? You know, there's no need to see a rematch of that. But yo, I'm going with Amanda Serrano to be the new undisputed champion of the world. The girl is good. The girl is good. So moving on, which is causing some issues, is on that same day, this fight, Katie Taylor versus Serrano, is taking place in Madison Square Garden on the DAZN. On that same day, you're going to have WBC 130-pound champion Shakur Stevenson. Now, this fight is not confirmed yet. It's just a running date. You know, as it stands right now, Shakur Stevenson, there's an article on Boxing Scene where Shakur Stevenson's talking about, the contract hasn't been signed for him to face Oscar Valdez yet. Well, the date that's being talked about is also April the 30th in the MGM in Las Vegas. And that's going to take place, if it were to officially happen, as they're saying nothing's official or signed yet, it's supposed to take place also on April the 30th. So the question I have here first, for the people who don't know, let me pull up their resumes. WBC 130-pound featherweight champion, super featherweight champion. Last fight, Robson Conceicao, which we're going to talk about later on, in the video. He's fighting, headlining tonight on Top Rank on ESPN. Or was that ESPN Plus? Damn. Well, anyway, Robson Conceicao is fighting Xavier Martinez tonight on ESPN platform. How about that? But in his last fight, a lot of people felt that, maybe Conceicao should have got the win over Oscar Valdez. And also, Oscar Valdez was coming into the fight with that banned substance scandal going on, where basically he ingested something that he claimed was in some herbal tea. But if you go Google herbal tea and whatever the shit was he got popped for, I don't know how to pronounce the name, phentamine or some shit, I don't know, I'm not a doctor. But you don't see that shit in no tea. And then the fact that he's trained by Eddie Reynoso, well, they have a bit of a reputation of taking shit, that they're not supposed to be taking, or eating shit they're not supposed to be eating, and then be like, yo, damn, we ain't even know what was in there, a little bit dicey. But nonetheless, he's back, and I want to see this fight. Now, there were some rumors and talk that Navarrete and Oscar Valdez were in some talks. Navarrete will be moving up once again from being 122-pound WBO champion to current 126-pound, and then he would move up again. But this fight right here is the fight I want to see. 17-0 with 9 KOs, 24 years old, the WBO current champion at 130 after defeating Jamel Herring, Shakur Stevenson. Now, honestly, 50-50 fight to me, my personal opinion. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I don't think, people, I can see what people will say, all right, we're going to go with Shakur. I got it. All right, cool. The boxer, the mover, the puncher, put on a magnificent performance against Jamel Herring, but completely outboxed Nakathila and, took a Khan Cleary, even though a lot of people felt like, yo, he should have stepped on the gas, took him out. But nonetheless, dude is good. But he's never faced anyone like Oscar Valdez before, and vice versa. Even though Oscar Valdez, a lot of people didn't think he was going to be able to beat Burchelt, but Burchelt is not known to be like a boxer. You see what I'm saying? So both of these guys are fighting fighters to which on this level, styles they haven't seen before on the level, if that kind of makes sense. I don't want to, be a little too confusing for you. But you kind of get where I'm going. So far, nothing yet known about the undercard or anything like that. Fight's not official, which is still waiting to see what's going to happen. Looking at the 130-pound division as a whole, as we talked about, we got, or we touched on a little bit, Chris Colbert and Roger Gutierrez. They are fighting on February the 26th on Showtime. Oh, also in Vegas in the Cosmopolitan. And we don't know what's going on with Kenichi Ogawa. He just won this belt, okay? When did he win that? When did you win that belt? November. Okay, boom. We don't know what's going on with him yet. I tried to do a little quick search, but we haven't seen. But the winner of Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson will be unified. But the question is Colbert there to unify? Because, we know how it is. Listen, we know how promoters can be. But let's face it, he's a PBC fighter. Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson are both top-ranked fighters. I'm guessing they're going to try to get the winner of Valdez Stevenson is going to try to go after Ogawa. That pretty much makes sense. But the question is, what is, if Colbert beats Gutierrez, which I'm predicting he's going to do, where does, he go? Let's go look at his resume real quick. Lil B-Hop, he changed his name now. It was Primetime. Chris Colbert, 16-0, 6 KOs. He was Lil B-Hop, right? Sorry, guys, I told you, man. I hate to keep using it as a crutch, but my memory be shit. Beat Tuck Student MBR, jabbed him pretty much the whole first half of the fight. Beautiful jab, by the way. Jezreel Corrales, that was the fight. I was at this card, wasn't I? I'm pretty sure I was. Oh, this one motherfucking... Did I tell you the story about Fred and Blue Blood? It was me, Fred, Blue Blood, Barack, AK, who else? Fight Height. Oh, man. Boots Ennis. Almost broke Fred fucking neck. Fucking turncoat. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. I think Chris Colbert got that in the bag. Let's go look at Roger Gutierrez real quick. Nice, solid Mexican fighter. No Venezuelan. My bad. 26-3-1 with 20 KOs. The 2 fights with Rene Alvarado. It's going to be a nice solid scrap. And we haven't talked about Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte yet. We're saving it to the end of the video because we got some content to watch on that. So let's see what we got next. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios fight week schedule. Kambosos, Devin Haney, what's going on with that? I do have that pulled up. Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte purse bid won by Frank Warren's Queensbury Promotions to be co-promoted by Top Rank and Broadcast on BT Sport Boxing box office pay-per-view in the UK, ESPN Plus pay-per-view over here in the States. And I have a Frank Warren interview we're going to listen to. Also, the clip from Colbert. He's really getting a hard time over there from fans at ESPN. And then the Don King card we're going to talk about, which I'm going to try to see if I can get somebody to buy that for me. I don't want to buy that Don King card. Let me get somebody else to put their credit card information into that shit. You know, he like 90, he'll go to the grave with your money and not give you a refund. That was distasteful. That was a distasteful joke. But anyway, moving on. Let me pull up this Keith Thurman fight week schedule. Let me pull up the card first. Listen, I'm cool with Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios on pay-per-view. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Because for one, given the history, I pretty much knew like Keith Thurman next fight returning going to be on pay-per-view. And you thought they was going to give it to us cheaper? Like, did people really think that they was going to give it to us for like, what? What did they think they was going to give it to us for? For like, what, like $50? Like they did with Luis Ortiz? They knew they were wrong with the Luis Ortiz, Charles Martin one. So that's why they had to give it to us for cheap. And what was that, $40 or $50? I forgot. But yeah, man. So, I mean, overall, I like the card. Let me pull it up for you. But I am concerned. I do feel that Keith Thurman's got a bit of a jelly belly thing going on. And then with the layoff, I'm wondering if Mario Barrios can hit him with the right shot, punch him right in the stomach. You know, that Keith Thurman, I don't know, man. I still can't believe that Keith Thurman lost to old man Pacquiao. You know, he don't get enough heat for that, for real, for real. 29-1 with 22 KOs. How old is Keith one time now? He's got to be about 32, right? 33. He turns 34 in November. So, you know, I be wondering if he still got the heart. If he's got the eye of the tiger, yo. That's what I'm wondering. Because let's go look at it, right? If you really look at his hard run, okay, these fights to me, the Diego Chavez fight, yo, this was a good fight if you really go back and watch it. Soto Carras was on his last legs. Julio Diaz, Leonard Bundu, but this is when it really, he started breaking out with Robert Guerrero. Remember, at one point in time, Robert Guerrero didn't want to fight him because he didn't want Keith Thurman to use him as like a stepping stone, which Keith Thurman did on the inaugural PBC show. Luis Collazo on ESPN punched him in the stomach, exposed the jelly belly. And then ever since then, he's been known like, yo, you get him in the stomach, he gonna have some issues. The big time fight with Sean Porter on free TV. This was CBS, wasn't it? Danny Garcia was also CBS. 2 big time fights. And then boom, nearly 2-year layoff. Jose Zito Lopez had the ponytail, like all waving around in the air. Like that ponytail was wayward, you know? And then he gets the Manny Pacquiao fight, and now here we are. 2.5 years later, nearly. No, yeah, 2.5 years later. Mario Barrios in the Michelob Ultra Arena in Las Vegas. Let's go look at the card. Now, yes, Mario Barrios. Why is this? Get out of here. Yes, Mario Barrios is a fighter moving up in weight. But given the layoff that Keith Thurman has had, I'm giving him a chance. You know, and he's got some height winning. 26-1 with 17 KOs. However, if he got knocked out by Tank Davis, then, you know, Keith Thurman hit hard as shit. And he's had his jaw broken before. 26-1 with 17 KOs, 26 years old. Last fight against Tank Davis last June, where he was stopped in round number 11, Ryan Carl. And this fight right here against Bakhtir Akhmedov, I feel he lost this fight. Videos on YouTube. But prior to that, there's nothing really there. Nothing really there. From my understanding, wait a minute. Why is Jose Zito Lopez not on this card? What happened to him? You think those rumors are true? That Jose Zito Lopez and Terrence Crawford are going to fight? Where is Jose Zito Lopez? He was supposed to be on this card against Abel Ramos. Let me do a little quick Google search here. God damn it. Hold on, guys. The pay-per-view was originally, let me show you real quick. It was going to be Luis Nery, Carlos Castro, Abel Ramos, Jose Zito Lopez, Leo Santa Cruz, Keaton Cabral, and Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. But now, Jose Zito Lopez, hold on, got a doggone minute, is now off the card. So he's injured. How we know he injured? How we know he injured? I'm not believing it. Tommy Fury was supposed to be injured too. I don't believe it. What's this injury? I think he fighting. Let's see. Okay, here we are. Let's see what they say here. Jose Zito Lopez injured. Abel Ramos to now face Lucas Santamaria on Thurman Barrios undercards by Jake Donovan. I trust him. All right, I trust you, Jake. But no, what is this injury, though? Boxicina has learned through multiple sources has suffered an injury and was forced to withdraw. Oh, man. Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. I was hyped to see Jose Zito Lopez. I'm a low-key Jose Zito Lopez fan ever since he broke fucking Victor Ortiz's jaw. I've been hooked since then. Remember Oscar De La Hoya and Canelo was ringside? I was hooked. Damn shame what Canelo did to him, though. Man, I wanted to see that fight. Well, anyway, here's the pay-per-view portion. $74.99. It's going to be Nery versus Castro, Ramos versus Lucas Santamaria. Here's this guy, by the way. I'm sure you've seen him before. 12-2-1 with 7 KOs. He beat Devin Alexander. Devin Alexander claimed he had a bicep injury. Paul Kroll from Philly. Shout out to Paul Kroll. You know his family. Dag, I wanted to see that. Well, the pay-per-view portion, Nery versus Castro, Abel Ramos versus Lucas Santamaria, Leo Santa Cruz versus Akina Cabral, and Keith Thurman versus Barrios. I don't know who this Cabral guy is. I really don't. I got no clue, mates. I was on the Zoom call. He's not ranked by any of the sanctioning bodies. 23-2-1 with 15 KOs. No one on a resume of note. And basically, he's a 126 pounder. And by the way, Leo Santa Cruz is saying that he's going to be staying at 126 pounds, where he's going to keep that belt. It's the 126-pound belt he has, right? Yeah, he's saying he's going to stay here. He's going to hold on to this title. If you don't know, Kiko Martinez and Josh Warrington are fighting. They had a press conference. I was supposed to add that to the show notes, but we'll talk about that at a later time. Mark Maxwell, of course, finally dethroned Gary Russell. We talked about that in one of my last streams earlier this week. So yeah, I don't know this cat. Don't know him one bit. And Leo Santa Cruz is returning after, well, being put to sleep in front of his pop. That was crazy. But at least we know he had a good dream. He was smiling his ass off. This was what, 14 months ago, when he was knocked out by throwing the same damn punch and got uppercutted to hell by Tank Davis. Yeah, poor guy. Poor guy. So yeah, what was the next story I'm supposed to be pulling up? Oh yeah, what's going on with George Kambosos? And briefly, what's going on with George Kambosos and Devin Haney? Talks for the lightweight title fight. This is from Chris Mannix, Sports Illustrated site. Get out of here, Sports Illustrated. Talks for a lightweight title fight between Devin Haney and George Kambosos have stalled. Sources familiar with the negotiations told SI officials involved have struggled to come up with a financial package that will satisfy Haney, the undefeated title holder who is coming off a win over Jojo Diaz last month, while Kambosos' team promoter Lou DiBella and manager Peter Khan continues to discuss with Top Rank a deal to face Vasil Lomachenko. Negotiations for a two-fight package there have been relatively seamless. There is some momentum building towards a deal with Ryan Garcia. Representatives of Kambosos and Garcia.
How dare you?
How dare you? Hold on, Count Drago. I'm going to read that in a minute. Give me 1 minute, bro. So, representatives of Kambosos and Garcia have discussed the framework of a two-fight deal that will see Kambosos and Garcia take interim fights in the first half of 2022. Garcia is penciled to return in April, while Kambosos prefers to fight in June, with the two colliding in the second half of the year. In a text message on Wednesday, Kambosos reiterated to SI that he only wants the biggest fights. Things are progressing here in Australia, Kambosos said. The Australian and Greek fans are on the frizzy, as you may have seen yesterday in the Australian Tennis Open. They are awaiting the mega stadium fight announcement in Australia. Like I said countless times, I want the best challenger to give the world the best fights possible. Haney, Matchroom Boxing, Lomachenko, Top Rank. Let's get it done. I don't know what's so hard to make the fight. Devin Haney fights on the zone. Matchroom, Eddie Hearn has been signing up Australian fighters like Dempsey McKean, Brock Jarvis, Liam Perro. They got Ebony Bridges, so with the zone now for $3 down in Australia, it would make sense. Also, it would clear up. This is the reason why I want to see Devin Haney versus George Kambosos, because it would clear up that undisputed, bullshit at 135 pounds. Kambosos, the franchise champion, Devin Haney, the WBC champion. So in reality, Kambosos is disputed. He's not undisputed. It's disputed because you have Haney right there. That's the reason why I want to see the fight. But if Haney, and his team, Matchroom, for whatever reasons, I don't like getting into the politics because, and the money, because there's always multiple sides to the story. You see what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit for way too long, it's always multiple sides. But, for them not to get this done, or if he ends up fighting Lomachenko, and I think that George Kambosos, good fighter, I underestimated him a little bit with Teofimo Lopez, but I do not think he can beat Lomachenko. Yes, Teofimo did it, but we have to, say what it is. Teofimo was injured during the Kambosos fight, even though it's taboo to talk about. Lomachenko was injured during the Teofimo fight, which is taboo to talk about. But the facts are the facts. But do I feel that Lomachenko can beat Teofimo in a second match if they fought at 135 uninjured? Yes. Do I feel that Lomachenko can beat George Kambosos? This is my opinion. Now remember, we're not always supposed to agree. You can have your opinion, as I say many times on this channel, there's going to be sometimes you're going to be like, yo, this guy knows what he's talking about. And there's going to be other times you're going to be like, yo, this guy's a fucking dickhead. While I watch this fucking bullshit, this guy sucks. But this is just my opinion. I think that Lomachenko is the man, him and Tank Davis, at 135 pounds. My personal opinion. You know, and no, in no way, shape, or form am I feeling Tank Davis versus Rolly Romero. Like, you know, but I kind of knew that shit was coming. So we're going to save that for a later video to see how that plays out with the Kambosos, Lomachenko, you know, Haney situation. Now, understandably, you know, he's had a lot going on and he's got a new baby as well. I can understand where Kambosos is like, all right, I want to take some time off, fight in June. Because his whole last year was taken up with the Teofimo Lopez shit, you know, being in camp, being out of camp. I can get that. But as it stands right now, I want to see an undisputed champion in the division in 2022. Like, they don't need no interim bouts. And also, I'm tired of fucking, like, how can Ryan Garcia jump the line? Like, bro, like, you know, he got all these Instagram followers and shit, but on Twitter, he be getting roasted. You know what I mean? I'm tired of hearing about Ryan Garcia. Honestly, he not doing shit. You know, and it's like, you know, okay, yeah, you get like a bump in money fighting him, but really, like, is the stripes really there, or is it because people want to see him get beat up? I don't know. I'm just not a huge supporter of Ryan Garcia right now. Not until we get in the ring, because that shit's been all talk, and it's getting kind of frustrating. And then thinking he can just like keep pulling out of these fights, you know, and then thinking he can come back and just jump in front of the line with his little bullshit interim title or whatever, you know, that is. So let's move on. Let's jump into this Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte purse bid. I got some clips here to pull up for you. And yeah, we're going to jump right into the crust of things. Take your time out, like the video. Yes, liking the video still does help, even though YouTube took the ability to dislike the videos down for political reasons that have nothing to do with sports or other YouTubers. They just got tired of people disliking all the fucking president videos and shit. And they're like, nah, we got to take that shit down. Like, whack, trash. But I got some clips here for you. If you don't know, Queensbury Promotions and Frank Warren won the purse bid. Here, let me pull up the story for you. Did I take the story down? Hold on. $41 million purse bid to secure the rights to promote WBC and Millennial Ring Magazine heavyweight champion Tyson Fury versus #1 contender and WBC interim champion Dillian Whyte.
How dare you?
How dare you? Oh, my bad. Count Drago, I gotta read your super chat. What up, Angel? Ryan announced 4 fights in the last 2 months. Yeah, always talking shit. Hold on, Count Drago, where you at? 41 million purse bid is not gonna look good for Arum. I dislike Crawford lawsuit basis, but 41 million for Fury Whyte is inexcusable when you look at Bud. Oh, you talk about how they don't want to put the money into it. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that because I'm wondering how much this pay-per-view is going to do, because if you don't know, it's going to be pay-per-view over in the UK, which is what, about $30 or so, $35, $30 or so in the UK for a pay-per-view. Over here in the States, it's going to be a midday pay-per-view, the first American mainstream midday pay-per-view. I can't even remember the last one. So what are they going to charge here in the States? And it's supposed to be happening in April. What are they going to charge here in the States for us to watch Tyson Fury versus Dillian Whyte at 5 p.m.? Like, what are they going to charge us here? So here's the details. Fury's co-promoter Frank Warren Queensbury Promotions won the rights to the WBC heavyweight title fight between Fury and Dillian Whyte with a commitment of $41 million, just a little over $41 million. Fury will earn $29 million. Whyte will earn just a little over $7.3 million, and a $4.1 million bonus to the winner, 10% of the winner bid. The only bidder was Eddie Hearn's Matchroom with $32 million. I wonder why there were no other bidders. You know, people thought that Triller was going to come out of nowhere, out of somewhere. I mean, thank God, you know, they didn't. All right, let's go listen to a little bit of this.
How confident are you that he's going to be very cooperative across this promotion? And how do you...
Success story that it will be.
Given your relationship with Dillian Whyte, which has been colourful over the years, there's been back and forth in interviews, there's been songs that have been sung, there's been names that have been called or across social media. How confident are you that he's going to be very cooperative across this promotion? And how do you think you're going to get on with him?
Well, I'm hoping he'll be professional. We're working to, whether he likes it or not, whether I like it or not, we're working together on this promotion. And I hope he's going to, as I've just said, I don't want to make a big thing of it. I hope he's going to cooperate with us to help make it a success. If he doesn't, then obviously, that's not going to go down well with us or with the fans. I don't think. I think everybody, why wouldn't he want to make it to be a success? He's getting paid a substantial sum of money. So he's a professional fighter.
It's a rivalry, obviously, with Tyson and Dillian that's been building for a number of years. Are you expecting a lively build-up, some lively press conferences?
Look, I'm expecting, a press conference. Who knows with these two guys? I mean, they'll be fun, I would think, and they'll be entertaining. But what I am looking forward to is the fight. I'm looking forward to the two of them getting in the ring, because that's what's going to count at the end of the day. And I hope I'm quite sure we're going to have a full house in the venue. And I'm quite sure there's going to be a tremendous atmosphere. And these two guys are going to put a brilliant show on.
And is there much or any kind of co-promotional element to it? Obviously, Matchroom have represented Dillian Whyte's several fights of him. How does that all work?
Well, Queensbury won the purse bid, and Top Ranker is our Tyson American promoters, and we work together, and it'll be a promotion in association with Top Rank. That's what it'll be.
So for boxing fans clamouring for a press conference with Tyson, Dillian, Frank, Bob, and Eddie all sat up there, they might have to wait a bit longer.
Why would Eddie Hearn be there? He doesn't represent him. So I understand. I understood he was a free agent. If he does, then why was Ben Shalom calling me, saying he represented him? Anyway, who's ever there is going to be there. As long as the two fighters are there, that's all that matters. The rest of it is just, they're all side shows. The main event is the two guys, and the main event is what I'm looking forward to. I want to get these two together. I want to get this up and on sale. I want to promote the backside of it. I want to make it a successful event. We all do. Tyson's back, first time in nearly 4 years he's fought in this country, and it's going to be a great homecoming if we do it in this country.
Yeah, well, great homecoming if we do it over here. I think you nearly gave the game away, Frank. How far along did we get in conversations about the undisputed fight? Because the reports out there, I can only go by what I've read. The reports are it was all going to happen. It was going to be Fury versus Usyk, AJ Whyte were going to step aside, and that the 11th hour, everything changed. What can you tell us about this?
Well, it was nearly done, but unfortunately it wasn't. I think, at this moment, it's pretty irrelevant because we are where we are. And I think, that conversation is for another time. Tyson was up for it, but in the end, some of the financial demands that we'll be making to step aside were just impossible to accommodate.
And in terms of the fight itself now, it is Dillian Whyte next. That is the fight that...
So, according to Frank Warren, Dillian Whyte is a promotional free agent. But we haven't heard anything about Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte has had some very colorful things to say about Frank Warren in the past. It's going to be interesting to see them two work together. And also, according to Frank Warren, why would, Eddie Hearn be involved? Kind of like when Canelo had fought Caleb Plant. Eddie Hearn may have been somewhat in the background, but in this case, there's no need for him. So as it stands right now, it's going to be pay-per-view over here in the States. We don't know what the price is going to be. They're looking for an April date. Tyson Fury is going to make about $29 million plus at least, according to the purse bid. Dillian Whyte, $7.3 million. And the question is, how many pay-per-views does this pay-per-view do? Because in my opinion, Tyson Fury is the clear favorite. It shouldn't look no different than when Tyson Fury beat Derek Chisora, even though Derek Chisora is, you know, just a couple of levels below Dillian Whyte. I'm not giving Dillian Whyte much of a chance. I mean, obviously he has a puncher's chance, unless, you know, Tyson Fury wants to go in there and be bullshitting around. But let's face it, this man got knocked down by Deontay Wilder multiple times to the point where he got punched so hard that he didn't go down in first. The fat, like, rippled all the way down until it got to his legs, and his legs just gave out. Like, bro, like, he can eat whatever Dillian Whyte gonna try to give to him. Let's listen to what ESPN had to say. Mike Copinger on Max on boxing. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. We are working tonight. In the next hour or so, the top rank, let me check real quick. You know, I don't want to be making up stuff. Let's see when this ESPN top rank card headlined by Robson Conticao and Xavier Martinez. That's not until 10 p.m. Shit. The prelims start at 6:55. It is now 5:55. And also, I'm going to be covering and buying this bullshit right here. Don King Present. They want $50 for this. It starts at 8 p.m. Yeah. Little preview before we listen. Yeah, you know what? Let's just keep it here. That's a little bit depressing.
Fury owes Dillian Whyte a fight. He's the WBC's mandatory challenger. And then, of course, Usyk owes Joshua a rematch as part of the rematch clause for when Usyk beat Joshua in September. So, behind the scenes, they were trying to make a step-aside deal. And I was told that there actually was an agreement in principle for both Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua to take big bags of money to basically step aside and allow Fury and Usyk to proceed with an undisputed heavyweight title fight in June in Saudi Arabia. But I'm told at the last minute, at the 11th hour, that parties involved attempted to renegotiate, get a little more money, and then the deal fell apart. So now we're going to have Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Whyte's a top 5 heavyweight. Fury defends his title against Whyte and then fights the winner of Usyk Joshua, or Usyk or Joshua. That works for me, to tell you the truth. So earlier this week, Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champ with the best mic skills, if not actual boxing skills since Muhammad Ali, had to say the following about negotiations.
I tell you what, boys, there's some pack of cowards out there and some pack of talkers. I tell you that now. Making all the demands in the world. You cowards, come and fight.
I love this guy. Mike, that's the heavyweight champion of the world, calling out all the other heavyweights. And this is a talent-rich heavyweight era right now. But meantime, it sounds like we're going to get, I would assume now, Usyk and Joshua the rematch, right?
That's the plan, Max. Like I said, Usyk still owes Joshua a rematch, just like Andy Ruiz owed Joshua one after he beat him. It's going to be hard for Joshua to win after we saw the way Usyk looked. I mean, this guy was, like you said, the undisputed cruiserweight champion. He's fleet of foot, and that was not a close fight. I think Usyk could have knocked out Joshua if he had a few more seconds left in that round. But we're going to see when that fight happens, probably spring in the UK. And then you have to assume that the winner would fight the winner of Fury Whyte, which expects to be Tyson Fury. They're trying to get a deal done there in anticipation. And I want to go back to the step-aside deal. Under that deal, Joshua was going to get a shot at the winner of Fury Usyk in December in Saudi Arabia. So now we're going to see if Joshua can get past Usyk and get his heavyweight titles back.
So what we gathered from that is we don't know which side wanted more money, but the rumors are that Joshua was going to get $15 million. See, I don't like talking about money, and then at the last minute, he wanted an extra $5 million, making it $20 million. And then remember, they still had to pay off Dillian Whyte as well. So you could be looking at maybe $25 to $30 million being paid just for two fighters not to fight. Where, you know, I'm guessing Fury and his team was like, you know what? Nah, we're just going to go ahead and fight Dillian Whyte. You know, we're not putting all this money on the table, you know, and then revisit the Usyk fight, because I do feel that Usyk is going to beat Anthony Joshua again, you know, whenever they fight. So it's looking like we're going to have both of these fights by at least June, and they want to keep them on like the same like time frame, so we could see Fury and Whyte and Joshua Usyk within possibly a 2 to 3 week span. So I'm hoping that, that is what we get. But looking at the heavyweight division as a whole, to wrap up the video, Deontay Wilder, we don't know what he's doing next. We're waiting on a decision from him if he's going to fight or retire. His trainer Malik Scott is going on a record to say he's going to talk to Deontay Wilder in March to see where he's at, and they're going to go from there. Trevor Bryan tonight on Fight.tv is taking on Jonathan Goudry to defend his WBA world title, and then the winner of that has to face Daniel Dubois. And then the winner of that will be the mandatory to consolidate and unify those WBA titles to be the winner. Like, think about this, right? In a fucked up, crazy world, this guy right here, Jonathan Goudry, and let me show you his resume real quick. This guy right here, if he beats Trevor Bryan tonight, 17-0-2 with 10 KOs, 32 years old, from a shrimping boat down in Louisiana. If this guy right here beats Trevor Bryan, right? Look at his resume. Just look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. If this guy right here defeats Trevor Bryan, he'll be one fight away from fighting for the WBA, maybe undisputed championships at heavyweight. Crazy. We're still waiting to see what's going to go on with Felix Hergovitz and Marat Gassiev. If Marat Gassiev is going to accept fighting Felix Hergovitz to be the IBF mandatory for also the winner of the Fury, Whyte, Joshua Usyk, fights. Because so far, Luis Ortiz vacated his spot. Michael Hunter turned it down in the past. Angel Ruiz is likely not going to take it. Charles Martin at one point in time had it. Joseph Parker's not going to take it. Tony Yoka couldn't take it. Joe Joyce is the next WBO mandatory. We don't know what he's going to be doing next. And then if you look at it, the next guys after that are guys like Andy Ruiz, Frank Sanchez, Joe Parker. These are guys that are in the mix. Luis Ortiz is in the mix. Who else? We don't really know what's going on with him. So the next movers and shakers outside of the guys that are fighting for championships or, defending their titles is Hergovitz, Sanchez, Parker, Andy Ruiz, Luis Ortiz, Daniel Dubois. Really don't know where Michael Hunter is right now, so we can't really count him, and Joe Joyce because of his mandatory status. Boxing can be crazy as shit, man. Like, you just be like, yo, Frank Sanchez, I don't want to see him. Listen, I'm going to say it. I don't want to see him no more. I don't want to watch that shit. No, it's just not for me. What else? Did we talk about everything? Yeah, we went through the whole show notes. So down below in the description box is our show notes. I've been doing that lately and actually trying to keep up with doing a scheduled, organized stream. You see what I'm saying? We're getting better at this. We talked about Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano, set for April the 30th at Madison Square Garden on DAZN. The press conference is this Wednesday, February the 2nd. Jake Paul is going to be in attendance. Oscar Valdez versus Shakur Stevenson to also fight on April the 30th in the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on ESPN. So you have two competing cards that night with Katie Taylor, Serrano, and Valdez Stevenson. One question real quick down below in the chat or in the comments. Which fight are you interested more in on April the 30th if they're both scheduled for that date? We already know Taylor Serrano is set for April the 30th. It's not official yet that Valdez Stevenson is set on April the 30th. But which one are you more interested in? Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano for Undisputed in Madison Square Garden on DAZN, or Oscar Valdez, WBC versus Shakur Stevenson, WBO for a unified on ESPN Plus. I mean, on regular ESPN. I'm guessing that's where it would be. I'm going to go ahead and say which fight. I'm going to watch them both and cover them both regardless. But which fight, if I had to pick one with a gun to my head, and they said, you got to watch one of these now, motherfucker. You got to watch one of these now. Pick one. Oh, shit, what's one? I'm picking Valdez Stevenson. I'm picking Valdez Stevenson. I'm picking Valdez Stevenson. I'm picking Valdez Stevenson. That's the one. But in the multiverse, in another universe, I would pick Taylor Serrano. But in this universe, I'm picking Valdez Stevenson. If I had to. We broke down the 130-pound division. Chris Colbert versus Roger Gutierrez. That's set for February the 22nd on Showtime. Gutierrez, a Golden Boy fighter. Good to see a Golden Boy fighter working, with Showtime. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios fight week schedule. Let me go pull that up real quick. We didn't go through that, but I do have it right here briefly. Tuesday is a virtual trainers roundtable featuring Robert Garcia, Derek James, Stephen Bradman, and Ismail Salas. Ooh, that's Tuesday at 2 p.m. It's a Zoom call. I think we may stream that. Wednesday is the final press conference that's going to air at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on FS1, Fox Sports 1. That's the Thurman Barrios press conference. The Undercard press conference is going to be on Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And the weigh-in is on Friday. It doesn't say where it's going to be streamed at. I'm guessing it's not going to be on TV. It's likely going to be on live stream. It's going to be taped. Okay. That's at 2 p.m. Pacific. It says, because of this, media on site will not be permitted to stream the live weigh-in. Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. So, yeah, we're going to be streaming next week during the main event of Thurman versus Barrios. So I'm looking at that and treating that as like my season premiere, like where I'm, back in the mix of things. Also, it's going to be a very busy day on February the 5th. Real quick, just to tell you the fights that are going to be going on. Over on the zone, Carlos Cadras versus the Rat King, Susaket Sorungvisai. Jesse Rodriguez new to the zone in Matchroom versus a Fernando Diaz, Jamie Mitchell versus a Carly Skelly, Ray Ford, Edward Vasquez. And then, of course, the Keith Thurman pay-per-view, $74.95 on Fox pay-per-view. Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios, Leo Santa Cruz, Kenny Caballero. Abel Sanchez versus a Francisco Santa Maria because Jose Zito Lopez pulled out because of an injury, alleged. Luis Nery versus Carlos Castro. Here in the States, this is kind of disrespectful, guys. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Williams. Clarissa Shields versus Emma Kozin. And Caroline Dubois versus Avita Masakate? This is Daniel Dubois' sister. But guess what? You want to know some crazy shit? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this shit right here. Look at this. They won $30 for it. They're charging $30 for this here in the States. Over in the UK, it's a regular Sky Sports card, right? It's not pay-per-view over there, right? But they're charging us $30 for this, and they're billing it as its Clarissa Shields card. I mean, I'm going to buy it, but are you guys buying it? I think it's disrespectful. Disrespectful. Well, anyway, we're going to be here covering that. And what else is on the 5th? That's it. The 12th is Danny Jacobs versus John Ryder. I don't give a shit about that fight. Not one shit. And that's actually the biggest, only major mainstream fight of the week of the 12th. Valentine's Day weekend. And my trial is on that Monday. So I'm guessing that's kind of a good thing. Yeah, bro, they're outrageous for that. It's like, who do they think they are? Sometimes they just be going to the well. It's like, who do you think you are? Who are you thinking you are? Putting that shit on pay-per-view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do some food prep. And I'm making some air-fryered smoked paprika chicken with like chopped parsley and shit. And some air-fried baked potatoes too. So we're about to air-fry it up tonight. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to see you guys in a few hours with my post-fight videos. I'm T Street Controversy with 5U360. Take your time out, like the video. All my social media links are down below in the description box. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.